Hi there, how are you? So, as you know, I'm not a boxer. I'm a beginner, and this is why it's great, because while Joey, he's very experienced in this, I'm going to show you the mistakes that I've been making, so that as a beginner, if you're a beginner, don't make the mistakes that I'm making. So this is where, this is going to be a little bit of a case study of the mistakes that I make. The number one mistake that I used to make, because when you start, you practice with a bag, right? With a heavy bag or a person. And what do? You just wail at it, right? Because you don't care. But what you always want to do, keep your hands right here. Because in a real situation, if you're in a ring or whatever, self-defense situation, hopefully you don't have to ever do that. But always protect, okay? And by the way, you use your hands not just to protect your head, but to protect your upper body. Because so the second mistake I would make is, once I learn to keep my hands up, the mistake I'd make is keep my elbows out, or not watch where they are. But they have to be in, protecting your ribs. And the tighter you are, the more you're protecting down here. So with one hand, you're protecting a lot. Whereas if you have, just a relaxed stance, you're not completely sure, you're opening up. And you don't want to open up. So this is going to lead me to another mistake that I made. So now we know not to open up. So our stance is tight, right? But what do we want to do? We want to punch hard, right? Look how open it is. Hook, look how open it is. But these are my real punches. This is how, like, in the first few months where I started learning boxing, this is what I would do. The jab is the basic jab, but the two powerful punches, right, are the big cross. And if you miss this cross, the opponent comes outside of you and hits you this whole area, right? So you don't want to miss that. And then you get the cross, but then you got the big hook. And if you really go around, you can generate so much power, and it's very exciting. Especially when you feel yourself hitting your bag really hard, hopefully not a person. But it's really exciting. Go boom, and you feel good. Like I felt good, and I was going like boom. But notice how much of a wide punch this is. This is wrong, right? Because some boxers call this telegraphing, where if you're on the receiving end of this, if it connects, great, but chances are it won't connect because you'll see it from a mile away, right? Because I'm doing this big wind up. I even do this mistake. I even dip down, so I do even more. And then the mistake that I would make is to just try to hit it too hard, right? But if you miss this, and you totally make yourself off balance, and you have all this thing open. So what is the right way to do this? Now, for the right way, watch how Joey does this. But you want to keep everything tight, right? So we know protecting here, protecting inside, right? Protecting the ribs and liver and everything else, right? Protecting against the body shots and the head shots. So the punches are tight. The punches come in like this, and the cross is this. And the uppercut is also tight, right? And when you do the uppercut, it's kind of like, I tend to dip down a lot. That's a mistake. You want to do this quick. You want to generate power from your hips, but you don't want to dip like I dip. That's a rookie mistake. Like, I know I need to fix that, but I still do it, you see? So I do this, but that's a mistake. But you still want to generate that power, right? And when you're tight like this, so you're still closed up. You don't generate as much power if you did a wailing hit, right? So where does the power come from? Power comes from two things. The quickness with which you do this, and correct technique. Okay? So if you practice, drill. This is what I'm told, by the way. Drill. It's not like I'm a professional boxer telling you practice. I myself need to practice, but the way that is explained to me is that when I practice these punches, and lot of hours of practicing, or a lot of repetitions, you will become, your technique will be strong. So, and the quickness, right? And also, technique, a part of the technique is using your body. So, one mistake I make is with my hook. Like, I love to give like a big winding hook, right? But look at how off I am. Look at this. I mean, this is off, right? It feels good when I connect, but it's totally off balance. You want to stay straight, and you want to do that twist a little bit, so, right? As opposed to, okay? Same with the cross, okay? The cross, it has to get help from your hip, so, okay, if you just do the cross, it's not as powerful, but if you lay into it, so it's the speed of the punch, and whether you're able to put enough body behind you. Same with the hook, right? You put a little bit of your body, you twist, you do the twist during the hook, see the leg? It's a little bit of a twist, but not too much, so you're still closed, your defense is good, and you're able to defend, you're not going to get hit as well. Because boxing is not about punching as much, well, it is about punching, but as a beginner I thought like, hey, this is going to be really cool, going to punch, but smart boxers don't want to get hit. But a lot of it is about defense, because and this is a good thing to get into your stance and footwork, right? So your footwork, you always want to move. You want to move, and again, I'm a beginner, but the footwork is, usually I would stand in a straight line. I would just stand, right? But you don't want to make yourself an easy target. You always want to move. And you can pivot. Always walk around so that you're not easy to aim at, right? And as you do this, as you walk around, you swivel your head, right? These are called small slips. So always, and it's actually difficult for me to do this. I haven't gotten the technique right yet. But what you're supposed to do is kind of you walk around, right? Your opponent, you walk around and you're always on the balls of your toes, right? So you kind of always quick. What you want to do is also move your head a little, right? So that they never get a clear shot. From the time that they wind up, you're somewhere else already, right? So it's really hard for them. Really hard for them, and then you're looking for their openings. And what you're doing is working the jab. Because the jab is your defense, right? Because if you jab that, jab, they can't get close. But your jab also, you move around, jab, see how they react to your jab, because you learn how they react to the jab, and you see where their opening is, then you jab, come in with the cross, do the rest, okay? And that's sort of my tips as a beginner, the mistakes that not to make, and things I'm learning. So hopefully you haven't had a great laugh. Hopefully this was helpful. Because sometimes I felt when a teacher explains to you and they're very advanced, they make it look easy. But we don't want to make it look too easy, because I think sometimes it's valuable to see how other beginners are that in the same boat as we are. And so hopefully that was helpful.